Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we are back from our little sabbatical hiatus, I guess. As we have mentioned repeatedly on this channel, if you're new to the channel, we do travel a lot. Yes. And sometimes we are not able to do 2 or 3 videos a day. Sometimes we have pre-recorded banked videos that we run when we are away. Which is what happened the last couple days. People are like, where are you? Why aren't you reacting to this or that? And we're like, we can't. We can't.
We're unavailable to do so.
We're sorry. We're unavailable at the
moment. That's right. Yeah.
Please leave a message and we will get back to you.
We're doing other jobs that we have to do.
Right. Meanwhile, in the real world. No. But anyway, we wanted to kind of come back around and talk a little bit about the VIC MIGNOGNA situation. And
well, people sent this to you.
Yeah, we had a couple of stories and links sent to us while we were away. We could not react to any of that because, you know, we were obviously gone and not in a position to record videos. However, you know, I think, you know, before we get into this, I think we really want to kind of clarify like what we will and won't cover in regards to the VIC situation. I know there are a lot of channels out there that are like the Daily VIC. Yeah. You know, like every day there are like multiple videos about VIC MIGNOGNA, and we were kind of at ground zero of it, you know, a couple months ago. Now, we don't get into a lot of the social media rumors. You know, anything that we can't.
Sometimes, but it's like you have to have it substantiated other places, you know.
Right, right. And I mean, again, this isn't to throw any other channels under the bus. It's just not something we feel comfortable doing. And part of the reason we don't feel comfortable doing it, like in this situation with Monka Real, is that, you know, they invoke Zenkaicon, which we've, you know, again, we know a lot of people in the industry. We've been invited to some of these conventions.
That's one of them.
This is one of them, and we actually have always had a really good experience at Zenkaicon, so we don't want to go throwing them over the wheels of the bus.
They're actually pretty good. So.
Yeah, they actually are pretty good. And, you know, again, you know, these are things we can't verify, so we don't, you know, really feel too comfortable talking about it. We are going to talk about this one because it is getting a lot of mileage. We had people reach out to us and say, what do you think? And basically, in a nutshell, the story is that Monka Real turned away someone who was dressed as Edward Elric
at Pensacon.
At Pensacon.
Okay.
Yes, that was one part of it.
Okay.
And apparently, this individual was escorted out of Pensacon because I know Pensacon came down hard and said nobody will harass Monica.
Well, if you could look cross-eyed at her, though, to be fair, they'd probably escort you out. He might have said something that someone would run into somebody else about or something like that.
Who knows? Who knows? But here's the story as we can follow it from Bounding into Comics. So Monka Real has recently responded to accusations that she was responsible for the removal of both a fan from an autograph line at Pensacon and fellow Dragon Ball Super voice actor Todd Haberkorn from a panel at Zenkaicon 2019. So on April 2nd, in response to a tweet discussing the vice chair of SecuriCon filing an ethics complaint against lawyer Nick Rekieta. Oh, see, I didn't know anything about that because we were away. A Twitter user going by the display name Spitfire claimed in a third-party account of the alleged situation that Real had removed their friend from the convention due to said friend cosplaying as Edward Elric, the main character of Fullmetal Alchemist, who is voiced by VIC. While waiting in line to receive an autograph during a signing session at Pensacon. Here's the tweet. Reason why I mentioned it was because my friends were going to take me if I did Rowan. My friend Zach went to Pensacon dressed as Edward, hoping to get his Bulma action figure autographed. Monica stated you needed to leave, and he was escorted out of the con, was told to leave or be arrested. Now, Pensacon had made threats.
They had made threats.
Which I think, you know, I mean, you can lay down the law and say, look, we're not going to tolerate harassment you know, from anyone about anything, but they really were like, well, if you come here,
they were already baiting people before.
They were baiting people. They were like, we're going to arrest you if you come here and show any support.
However, I do find this story a bit odd because a lot of people show up and they dress up as characters Vic plays, you know, Edwards, Tom Keys, whatever, and then she mentioned this later, and I can't think that she has everybody escorted out because they dress in a character. It doesn't even make sense. So this is another case, I think, of where, I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, but it's another case of where, you know, you got everybody saying, you know, these accounts of Vic doing stuff, it's all just hearsay, you know, there's no proof, so we shouldn't just believe it based on someone saying it, which I agree with. But then the same is true in reverse, we cannot all jump on it and say it's automatically true because it's against, Monica Real, because that's not fair either. It's the exact same thing that everybody's mad about. In turn, you cannot do the same thing back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to see some facts. I want some facts.
Right.
And again, were there going to be issues at Pensacon? Absolutely. They did kind of bait. So
that leads credence to it being true, because Pensacon is basically, if you look cross-eyed at her, we're gonna. But the flip side is, it doesn't make sense. And then the comment she does make, this kind of is what I'm thinking. She goes, if someone was removed from my line, it was done so without my knowledge. However, this doesn't seem likely because there are multiple Ed cosplayers that came to my line.
Yeah.
Without issue. And I know I've seen it all the time, like some of the different characters he played. I can't think they're going to remove everybody dressed as a character, because, and if they did do that, that's terrible, because that's really stupid and brand damaging.
Well, as somebody said, it could have been done on her behalf. Maybe they were overzealous and were like, oh my God, there's an Edward. Get him out of line.
Right, right.
It's going to make Monica upset. We have to get Edward out of line.
Because if that did happen, that is just stupid, because that's brand damaging to these animes.
Yeah, and the thing is that these are dub actors. They did not originate the roles.
There's a lot of actors involved, not just Vic.
Right.
And guess what? A lot of people read subtitles and don't even listen to the dubs anyway.
I know, right?
So there's no guarantee just because somebody's dressed up as a character that meant they listened to Vic. I mean, that's stupid. So if this did happen, it's stupid. But I'm more inclined to think there's something more to this, because, you know what I mean? It seems odd.
Well, okay, so she goes on to say, now, if this person was being rude or aggressive, then security handled it the way they felt best. Like I said, plenty of Eds, Tamikis, and Brolys have been through my lines with no issue.
You would have heard about this before, because everybody's dressing as these characters. I see them all the time at conventions, anime cons. All I'm saying is, if we don't want to take just things on Twitter and accusations like against Vic, you're like, well, there's no proof of this, then, that doesn't make it true just because someone said it, which is 100% true. But then the same is in reverse. Just because someone said this happened and it was her fault doesn't make it her fault. We don't know what happened. So I'm just saying, you can't have it one way, or, it has to be fair both ways, Yeah,
and I think we're kind of getting to the point now with this where now it's just like, it's turning into like a lot of, and this is what kind of bothers me, and this is why we don't.
It's like telephone.
Right. And this is why, we don't cover it blow by blow, day by day, because I don't know what's actually going on. And it's a lot of, he said, she said, a lot of, like you're saying, telephone miscommunication on social media, having to just kind of believe what somebody says, just like, hey, this so-and-so happened. Monica Real shot me with laser beams out of her eyes.
Yeah.
Or,
now, this is not to,
I'm not saying
she's innocent of everything, because
no,
we know that's not true.
No. Has she done plenty to stir the pot? Absolutely.
I mean, if I were people in charge over certain animation companies, I would have got rid of some of these people a long time ago, just because they are not doing them any favors by keeping it going.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I mean, and we talked about this before, so I don't care. If we were in charge of Funimation, all of these people would be terminated until we figured out what the hell is actually going on.
If you're going to terminate one base without an investigation, then do it to everybody,
Yeah.
Investigation be darned, because apparently you can't have a fair whatever. Then until something's figured out, either everybody's removed, or nobody is.
Yeah, because what's going on now is there's just a lot of shit slinging on Twitter,
right?
And it's making Funimation look very, very bad. I don't know if Funimation cares, but I think Sony probably would. So and there are rumors out there that Toei's not too happy with Funimation. Again, I can't substantiate any of that.
We've heard similar things from people in the know, though.
We have. Which I can understand, because they're like, you're going to hurt the Dragon Ball brand in the U.S.
People who actually really would know, they're saying that there's issues. So.
But we don't have any proof. We can't come out and say.
Other than they told us, and we can't say who they are. So
right.
So wait, they're saying about if this incident appears to have been turned out to be a false report. Some fans were reminded of a similar claim against Real, which alleges that Real was responsible for removal. Okay, this is the Zenkaicon.
So this is what kind of gets. So we talk about the. I guess we're following the rabbit hole here, and it turned out that it was a false claim that she did not have this individual removed. Somebody there may have, just because they thought they were doing the right thing or whatever. And now they're talking about Zenkaicon, that Todd Havercorn was removed from a panel.
Well, Zenkaicon, did they actually say? We haven't checked, but did they actually come out and say? Because they could have answered the question really easy and had a lot of it resolved if they had commented.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. They're talking about, they're just basically showing the panel listing. Now, look, people, Montreal basically, again, she's like, I can see where people got the basis that, I did ask to be removed from the panel. However, they chose to pull Todd because his contract said you couldn't do more than one panel a day, and he already had one scheduled. And people were like, well, how would she know that? I'm like, well, there's a couple reasons. One, some of the contracts are boilerplate contracts. We've signed anime convention contracts.
Yeah.
And they usually have kind of unless the actor or personality has some kind of a clause, usually they give you a boilerplate contract depending on who you are. And for voice actors, it's probably depending on the level you're at. I'm guessing it's pretty standard unless your agent gets in there and wheels and deals. But like in our case, and we've done Zenkaicon, they're basically like, you're going to show up this many days.
You're required to do this many panels.
You're required to do this many panels. We'll give you a handler, and we will pay for your hotel room for X number of nights or whatever, compensate you airfare, whatever the deal is. And everybody has kind of a different deal, but I think for the voice actors, it's usually, now we went as comics guests, so our deal, I'm sure, wasn't as good as a voice actor deal, but still they were very clear in the contract. So again, I don't know.
Okay, so I did ask him how, because the contract stated he couldn't do more, so that could have been something in his own panel, because they said she was in several panels in one day.
Well,
like I said, that honestly could just be the contracts were different.
We've had, look, it wasn't Zenkaicon, but we've done other conventions where we were maybe scheduled to do 2 or 3 panels that day, and they bumped us down to like 1 or 2 because either there weren't enough people interested in the panel, or they had other things overlapping.
Or they had us cover other things before, too.
We've done that. We've actually done more than...
You've had to step in before because there was a bad blizzard at the one anime convention, and they needed somebody to go in and do it. Yeah, they needed someone to step in and do it. And so you stepped in. You happened to have your stuff with you, so you stepped in to cover some extra panels because, we were guests and they needed help. So we stepped up. So, it depends. She might have been in multiple panels. That doesn't mean their contracts are the same. I don't know what happened here. None of us are going to know what happened here. It's all, he said, she said. Other things that can actually, tell us what happened are the people involved with the scheduling from Zenkaicon.
Right. And this is where, we kind of come down on it, though, is we know, a lot of people in the industry, and we don't want to go making, accusations against people if we don't know what the story is.
No, but I'm also not going to sit there and be like, allow things. If there's no evidence of something, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, it happened, because I want to see evidence.
Right. Well, we're saying that even the situation with Vic,
right?
It's like,
but it goes the same both ways.
Right. If you're going to be impartial, then you have to actually
be impartial.
And,
so, yeah.
Well, I think more the purpose of doing the video was to explain to people why, because we have so many people who are like every day on Twitter hitting us up with,
don't stop doing that.
Don't stop doing that. No.
Sometimes we don't see things, and it's great that you do. And we're not telling you to stop doing that. We're just saying if we don't cover something that you sent us, it's not anything personal. It's just because we didn't have enough information on it or time or something.
Yeah, it could be time because we do travel often. Like this month, we're going to be out like 2 full weeks of the month. But beyond that, some of the stuff I don't want to go there unless I actually have proof. Like in the situation with Vic and the convention situation where they were bringing back, we actually had proof. We had press releases.
Right. Well, speaking of which, I was going to say some more good news.
Yeah. So Bubba Fest ticket sales are tremendous. Apparently, after inviting VIC MIGNOGNA, that was one of the conventions that actually did invite him. There are 4 or 5, I think we did a previous video on, and they said that their sales are up considerably. So that's they said they only had a 6% negative reaction to the announcement of Vic coming. 94% of fans were positive about MIGNOGNA showing up at the event. And again, just because somebody is there that you don't like, if you don't like them, if you don't like Vic, you don't have to go to his table.
Right.
I mean, it's like,
if I didn't like somebody at a convention, I just would go to other tables. Yeah, I wouldn't just not go. I mean, there's another reason. If I had people there I did want to see, you know what I mean? It's like, gosh, there's people who don't like me, and they would not come just because I was going to be there.
I can guarantee you, especially working in comics and stuff, like there are people we don't like at every convention we do, and we just stay away from them.
We've had to be on panels with people we don't like.
We've had to be on panels with people we didn't like. But you know what? You do what you got to do. And again, it comes down to the contract. Like if you have a contract with somebody, Or you have a contract to do panels, and you're like, well, I'm stuck on this panel with this person, but you still got to fulfill the obligations of the contract.
Right.
So,
and then, well, here's the guy that's Chris that's running this said, I guess everyone's happy. From my perspective, the proof is in the pudding. The engagement is way up on our social media and on our website. We've had tremendous ticket sales ever since we announced Vic as a guest, and our sales have increased every single day. So people are coming to see him, and it's just clear to us from every piece of data we can look at that there are way more people that believe Vic and believe in him and love him than don't.
Yeah, so I don't want anyone to feel like they're unwelcome at our show. Anyone who wants to come and enjoy themselves and have a good time and enjoy the sense of community that we're building here, come on down. Doesn't matter if you've never been to an event before. So yeah, I mean, it's not stopping people from going to conventions. A lot of the stuff going on with Mignogna is very like inside baseball. There were a lot of kind of behind the scenes talk for years, and it has only been in recent months that they've really kind of pulled the trigger on.
Yeah, this is so weird about it.
Going after him.
That's just what's so weird. And the thing is, like I said, all of it, including the accusations I'm going to say about the stuff against Monica Real on Twitter involving the article we just looked at. It's like a game of telephone.
Yeah.
Like my friend said, to this, to that, to that. And the accusations against Vic, a lot of them were either people are coming out saying those pictures are not what they are saying they are.
Yeah, which we've covered that because that actually is newsworthy.
Right.
When you've got an alleged victim coming out and saying, no.
No, they were still made a victim, but they weren't made a victim by Vic. They were made a victim by the place that said that they were, being attacked or being, harassed when they weren't. So they were victimized in other ways. And I'm like, you're better when you're victimizing people. I'm just saying. But it is a lot of telephone. Like my friend of my friend said that Vic, hugged her too tight, or whatever. And I'm hearing this over and over again. And all it sounds to me like is, did you hear that I heard that she said, that he said, that the dog said, that his, friend's Rottweiler said, that his hairstylist, the groomer said, it's just like, what?
And that's like a hold up in court, I don't think. And so this is a mess. We're not, again, we're going to keep covering it. We're going to cover it from, I guess as objectively as we can. But I mean, if you're looking for us to kind of get knee deep into a lot of the Twitter drama every day, that's just not what we're going to do.
Yeah, but we'll look into it though.
Yeah, we'll look into it. And if you send us links, we'll look into it. And even if we don't cover it, it doesn't mean that we're blowing anybody off.
Yeah, you better finish that, blowing anybody off.
We don't want to be accused of anything. It doesn't mean we're blowing anyone off. It just means either we're busy or, maybe it just didn't jive with what we're planning on covering, or we might, maybe rolled into another video at a later date. But we can't be the all Vic network. That's just not what we do here. So, all right. So I guess we're going to wrap this one up. We'll keep you guys posted when we get some more actual news on the VIC MIGNOGNA situation here on Clownfish TV. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.